depictions in early art is an understudied and mostly hidden history with very little shared information of the subject. To understand the significance of including art that depicts same-sex relationships into history, one must first understand the commonality of such during the Renaissance era, and how exactly pieces like this became depicted like this. The Renaissance was a rebirth of ancient Greek and Roman culture. When the West rediscovered and translated Greek and Roman art, philosophy, and culture, it experienced a major revival. Most notably was the famous philosopher Plato's idea that love between men was closer to God than that of men and women. With this new philosophy, sacred religious figures began to take an almost homoerotic form in art, and people took this as an endorsement of male same-sex relationships. This was so prevalent in Florence, Italy, that a task force, the Office of the Knight, was established and 17,000 men were accused of sodomy, one of whom being the famous Leonardo da Vinci. The Renaissance was this brief window in time where male homosexuality was actually exalted. So, what exactly happened? The altarpiece, Presentation of the Virgin at the Temple, is an example of this soon opposing view, and showed that Plato's philosophy wasn't exactly accepted by all. Completed in 1465 in Florence, Italy by an unknown author, this piece depicts the young Virgin Mary processing into a temple. At the base of the two entrance columns, a dancing Maenad and a satyr with pipes can be seen. These symbols, as well as the classic urn at the center, represent a pagan past. 3 beggars can be seen to the left of the Virgin as a sign of poverty in Florence. Then, at the center of it all, is our main focus of today, the 2 men. One affectionately places his hand under the other's chin. According to Saslow, this erotic gesture, in juxtaposition to the religious scene, represents the temptation of the lifestyle of many young Florentine men. This point of view shoots us right back to the church's modern-day views. Now let's take a look at another piece. Titian's Diana and Actaeon is a very rare depiction of female intimacy. Although few sources see this as sexual, the same way that others depicted male sexuality, it is an intimate scene nonetheless. The story depicted goes like this. The hunter, Actaeon, stumbles upon Diana, the goddess of the moon, hunting, and fertility. He is met with a piercing stare that seals his dire fate. The nymphs, in a panic, attempt to cover themselves. A dog at Diana's feet scowls at the hunter. For disturbing such an intimate moment, Diana turns him into a stag, to ultimately be slaughtered as foreseen by the skull and furs in the piece. Such a scene of a man lurking where he does not belong can still be interpreted through the modern eye, as the unfortunate fetishization of sapphic relationships is still prevalent today. The message the piece serves is very relevant. Although the queer scene has oftentimes been swept under the rug when learning history, its presence in the Renaissance is undeniable. It is an important fact to acknowledge as it was so prevalent in a large part of the reviving culture.